In a world of glitz and glam, flashing lights and screaming fans, most people are unaware of the war that rages behind the scenes. And that war includes your favorite artist and your favorite songs. This is The Dark Side of Songwriting. Hosted by Naeem Edwards.
Welcome to The Dark Side of Songwriting. My name is Naeem Edwards. I am your host. And today, when I think about this hate triangle that is Blac Youngsta, Yo Gotti, and Young Dolph, I think about a situation that happened to me a couple of years ago and where my mind was at and where my heart was at. And to give you a brief rundown of that situation, I'm talking 20, 30 seconds. I had a best friend that was my best friend since I was 14 years old. This hoe tried to give me a STD because I did not want to be with her. And what came of that situation for me was I said the most diabolical things that a person could ever say to anybody. I used to ride to her house and I would sit outside her house with a gun in the car, and I was going to wait till somebody walked out and just shoot anybody that walked out that door. This is where my mind was at. This is where my heart was at. Because I was so disgusted and so just consumed with the spirit of murder that I told this girl that if you take the job that was offered for you up here, you're going to die. If you come anywhere near me, you're going to die. I'm not playing with you. I was happy as fuck when her dog died. I was happy as fuck when her daddy died. There was nothing, anything good that happened to her. It disgusted me. So much so that I told her that when she died, I was going to dance the Macarena on her grave. And I'm telling you this because this is where these people are at. And I'm talking about Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti now. And this is where Young Dolph was at. Everybody is wrong in the situation. And you want to know why everybody is wrong? Because everybody was consumed by something that they didn't have no business letting take over them. Now imagine if I would have let this bitch, because she was mad that I didn't want to be with her, watch beeping. She was mad I didn't want to be in a relationship with her because I never looked at her like that. I'm not that type of person. It's all type of details that I don't want to clog this up because it's about them. But my mind was taken over by even the fucking idea that a bitch would even try to trap me. And a bitch would try to trap me with an incurable disease. The hoe had herpes. I'm not no fucking touch me not, but we're not going to go into that. All I cared about every day that I woke up was killing her. All I cared about every day, it got to the point where two of my other friends called me. Like, these motherfuckers never call. Like, they never called me. And they got on the phone and was like begging me, please do not do this. Please, please just do not do it. I was ready to completely go. I was ready to just throw my life away. I was ready for it to be over because hatred had taken over my heart. Hatred had taken over my mind. Let's look at Yo Gotti. I grew up on Yo Gotti. I always told myself that I was going to be somebody because Yo Gotti went to college. And Yo Gotti had issues with the law, so I'm going to be fine. Like, that was my mind state as a child, you know. And I'm saying child, like, under the age of 18. That was where my mind was at when I think about Yo Gotti. But how Yo Gotti came into the game, Yo Gotti really has come to be one of the most influential rappers in music, period. He comes out of that Jeezy era. And when it comes to what's going on in the South, Gotti is very high on that list. And when it comes to Tennessee and come to Memphis, he has created, he's bigger than life. Just based on business alone and how he was able to elevate himself and climb from the bottom. We know he was dissing 3-6 Mafia. We know he came out. I love Yo Gotti. I love his music. I love all that shit. But Yo Gotti was a hater. Like, that's just what it was. Everything that came out of his mouth, it just seemed like hate. We know the shit that happened with Gucci after the fact, and he was wrong for that. And his actions was matching up with just the actions of a fucking hater. Here comes Young Dolph, and he wants to, so Yo Gotti wants to sign Dolph, and Yo Gotti wants to get in there and just collect every token that he can just to make sure that nobody becomes a threat to him. Nobody becomes bigger than he is. Nobody can get into a situation that can even remotely make him look like he is beneath somebody. And this is talking about after Yo Gotti gets to the top, after Yo Gotti crowns himself the king of Memphis. It's natural. It's the natural order of things for generations to come after you. So when you got the local weed man deciding that he's going to rap, that is a threat to you, because that's essentially how you came in. Young Dolph was absolutely a threat to Yo Gotti, without question. What makes Young Dolph wrong in this situation? And we know that Gotti offered him a garbage deal. Gotti offered him some bullshit. Gotti tried to little boy him. That's wrong. We know that's wrong. We know Gotti's get down. That's not somebody to be playing with. Young Dolph was wrong for provoking situations that he knew that he should not have been provoking. When you have somebody as strong as Yo Gotti, there is a way to just disagree with somebody without it having to be a problem. You can say no to me without us having an issue. I don't have a problem with you saying no to me. And that's what makes both of them wrong. We're gonna bring Blac Youngsta into it. Let's just walk down the track together so you understand the mentality of these people. So you got the big dog who's like, I don't want nobody to even become a threat to me. And you got the little dog, but the little dog is not attached to nothing else like the big dog is attached to. So Dolph, the little dog, he doesn't have any attachments. All his stuff is, he built his shit up just like Yo Gotti did. And it shouldn't be no issue with Dolph saying, hey, I don't want to sign under no CMG. I don't want to go be PRE under CMG. I'm a grown man. I want to be my own thing. I want to do that. It could have been just that. Yo Gotti could have been like, okay, that's cool. Whatever. They could have walked away without it ever being a problem from there. But motherfuckers was so in their feelings and letting their ego lead them that now we're having problems over things that shouldn't be problems. It's like sometimes I watch stuff on YouTube and somebody will say something in the comment section to somebody on their live or something like that, and the first thing they do is go cuss somebody out. Like, let's just be for real. You wouldn't do that in real life. You're doing that from the comfort of your house. You're doing that from the comfort of wherever the fuck you live at. You would not cuss somebody out because they disagree with you. You wouldn't cuss somebody out or call them a name or that because they had a different perspective or they asked you a question. People need to start learning how to fucking act. And if Yo Gotti and Dolph learned how to act, it never would have been a problem in the first place. But niggas let their egos chew them up and spit them out to the point now that it is becoming a competition, and not competition how it's supposed to be, because anybody telling you that you don't have to compete is lying to you and setting you up for failure. That's just the God honest truth. You do have to compete. You are not your own competition. It does not work like that. Yes, you should strive to be better than you were yesterday, but when you walk outside your house, you're competing against everybody else out here. So not only are we dealing with now the ego trips are just running rampant, you have external stimuli coming into this, i.e. bitches. So what's the best way to get back at somebody? The best way to ultimately hurt you? I'll fuck your bitch. I'll make your home life in ruin. I'll embarrass you in front of everybody out here by taking your bitch from you. It's not all this other shit getting ran down on, all that. The bitch is the prize. It's gonna all, even if it's not, if somebody put their handprints on the hoe, she is what matters to them. That's just what it is. So now bitches start coming into play. Niggas is exchanging words, and then one side, the big dog starts recruiting as many people as he can and doing shit where people from where Dolph is from, i.e. here comes Blac Youngsta, they're coming in and being used by Yo Gotti because that's what he was. Yo Gotti used Blac Youngsta to get Dolph the fuck out of here or to handle that Dolph situation because somebody had Yo Gotti's level don't really have no business having no issues with somebody like Dolph. Those are two different. It's just two. They're similar in view and similar in name, but it's not the same type of level. It's not the same type of access. It's not the same type of stuff. No matter what you feel like you're looking at, it's just not the motherfucking same. It's not. So you go and recruit other small pups to get on your side, and they're doing everything that they can to prove their loyalty to you. So what does Blac Youngsta do? Young, retarded, get out here. I'm going to inherit the beef of somebody that I don't know and I should not have a problem with. All over, this started over music and contracts. This started over petty bullshit that everybody should have walked away from. My question for Blac Youngsta. The first question would be, why the fuck would you want to inherit a beef if you trying to have a music career? You could have said nothing and none of this shit would have happened. But when you got people on the other side and they're gaining momentum and they're gaining traction and they're gaining everything that your side should be gaining, and they're more popular to you and they're more likable than you are, you're going to feel some type of way anyway. So Blac Youngsta, all these shooting incidents that Dolph provoked, because you don't have no, if somebody is trying to kill you and take your life, in the real world, you should not provoke it. You should not go towards it. You should not, you could have picked up the phone and tried to handle these like adults, but pride and ego and hatred gets all in the mix. It's stirred all up in the cauldron. And motherfuckers is not interested in having no more conversations after, oh, you hurt my feelings, you did this, you embarrassed me in front of the city, the bitches involved. I'm loyal to Yo Gotti no matter what. Yo Gotti's brothers is not getting murdered. Yo Gotti's brothers is not getting shot at. His family is not in danger. Despite whatever bullshit you see in real life, Yo Gotti's family is not in danger of nothing. But y'all's families is the ones that's got to still walk the streets. Y'all families is the ones who's got to still walk around here and go work at UPS and go have regular lives and go do this and drive to the fucking BP and go pick up their gas, their fucking 88 fucking gas, 93, whatever they put in their car. Your family are the people who still have to walk around. Yo Gotti has enough resources and enough money where he can pack up and move his family the fuck away from all the nonsense if it gets too crazy. Niggas might still appear to be somewhere, but guess who's getting murdered? Guess who's the people getting shot? Guess who are the people grieving? So Dolph didn't have no business provoking nobody to kill him. They're shooting at you, they're shooting at you, they're shooting at you. But your mind is so screwed up and your ego has taken over the common sense area of your brain to the point where you niggas are gonna have to kill me. So now we move into this situation where everybody is consumed by hatred to the point where the Yo Gotti side, so Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta are consumed with the fact that Dolph is embarrassing these niggas. Dolph is out here on these interviews talking reckless, talking crazy, laughing at you, going platinum, having access to all the resources that you have access to, getting all of the money, getting all of the attention. People want to talk to him and also representing himself in a fashion that people are going to be attracted to. Blac Youngsta, you just kind of funny. We thought you was slow, you know, all of that other shit. And then I told y'all, remember, I did that video about Blac Youngsta, his career died when Dolph died, but niggas didn't really take him. We thought he was a comedian at first. We thought it was a parody, it was a joke. Then all of a sudden you turn into this gangster. And it's just like, oh, okay, so this is who he really is. Okay, he was just trying to whatever. But Dolph's side is embarrassing you. Dolph's side is calling you a little boy. He's making you feel inferior. So what do? You just go out and you do whatever somebody tell you to do because you don't have no mind, because you're so consumed by hatred. Just like I was. Consumed by the hatred to the point where I will only feel good when you die. You being alive is bothering me. You being alive is a hindrance to me being able to carry on with my life. But what y'all don't understand is You're never supposed to let that kind of shit get to you to the point of acting. We are human beings, so we're going to hate. It's inevitable. Anybody who said they have never hated, I don't know. I'm just telling you some real shit. Somebody done did something to you where you hated their ass. Now, you might have got over it. You might have been able to walk away from it. But somebody has done something that boiled you to the point inside where you just, that's all that you could think about. And this is what Young Dolph did to CMG's side. He boiled them and provoked them and embarrassed them and taunted them to the point where there was nothing left to do but kill this nigga. I can't continue to live my life unless this nigga is dead. Now this nigga is dead. Somebody gave him the drop and they went up there and they turned him into chopped cheese in front of everybody with no fucking regard to how their lives was going to go on after that. No fucking regard to how things was going to be after that. And now we're seeing the complete fallout. Because see, I'm going to be real with you. It's okay to hate them. Fuck it. If you're going to hate somebody, fucking hate them. It doesn't matter. If you're going to hate them, fucking hate them. But you're not supposed to hate somebody. You're not supposed to hate people for real, because you're not supposed to allow yourself to get to that point. And this is why I always stand on taking accountability for the role that you play in the situation. I should have never trusted nobody because I always had a rule that motherfuckers can't really even come over here like that. And I never should have even put myself in a situation where I even let somebody come to my house who said they had a romantic interest in me and I didn't have one in them. I took responsibility for the role I played in a bitch trying to take me out. These motherfuckers, they make the move, right? They make the move, and nobody's thinking about what life is supposed to be after this. Because see, you were so consumed with it, you thought all your problems was gonna go away when the problem went away. But that's not how it ever goes. God's not nowhere near that situation. So crying out to God about your brother is some bullshit. I'm going to just keep it. We just going to put that on the table right now. But y'all thought that life was supposed to flourish and life was supposed to be all this, grand and beautiful and everything going to go back to fucking normal around this bitch. We got this fuck nigga out of here. That's not how it ever goes. It never goes that way. Because see, when he went to the grave, any type of musical relevance and likability about y'all went into the grave too. Because everybody always cares about the person who dies. Especially when they find out they're a decent person outside of the costume that they wear and shit. And this is another reason why it's very critical to be the person that you are up here, that you are in real life. But when they find out, oh, he's a family man and he does this and he do that and he was just trying to, and then they start going back and looking over the lyrics, and the lyrics is really just about selling weed and hustling and getting or whatever, and then he get in the interview and say you a deadbeat fuck nigga, I don't fuck with these niggas who don't take care of their kids. People start to give a fuck about that shit because his story is over. The book is closed. All we can do is reread it. Your life still goes on, but your life is over as well. You might as well be dead because now you've set yourself up to be hated by everybody else. And on top of being hated by everybody else, not being able to get back to the relevancy that you once was at, not being able to get to any type of spot where anybody give a fuck about anything that you do. Realistically, you're going to have the people who fuck with you. But once you commit these heinous acts or you're affiliated with these heinous acts, it's very hard to be likable because all people can see is that you let your hatred consume you to the point of action. That's what I was saying. You're not supposed to act on these things because you don't know how these things are going to turn out for you. You don't know how these things are going to play out in the end. And I can tell you how they always play out. They always play out with fallout. So now everywhere you turn around, it's a Dolph emoji. That's just the internet part. In real life, your relatives get targeted. In real life, your life will never be the same. In real life, everything catches up to you. So now, you as the little dog, Blac Youngsta, you're having to deal with everybody affiliating every bad thing that happens to you with the murder of somebody that they give a fuck about, and they only give a fuck about because he died. You thought that if I got rid of him, all my problems would go away. But getting rid of him caused way more problems. And I know y'all wish that this nigga never would have fucking died. And maybe you don't care. Maybe you just, maybe you feel like, yeah, I'm just happy he did. I don't give a fuck what happens after this. Because Yo Gotti, he can get over it. Like, if we being for real, Yo Gotti can get over it. He can survive this. He's a businessman. He's gonna be able to, he got himself up to the point where he can survive in pretty much anything that whatever's thrown his way. He's got the industry backing him, and not like fucking rap colleagues. This nigga got real executives and real people backing him. So he's not gonna really have to worry about this as long as the feds don't come and say you made a deposit to kill Dolph. It's gonna be fine for him. But for you, Blac Youngsta, your family members, and they said that your last little brother didn't have no connection with it. It doesn't fucking matter what the connection was or whatever. Your people are going to continue to live this way. You're going to continue to rival in pain. You're going to continue to go through these things. And you want to know why? Because you opened up Pandora's box for bad shit to continue to happen to you when you allowed the hatred to take over your life. You allowed your heart and your mind to be off onto something that you never should have got yourself involved with. And I know that you probably say to yourself, I never should have even got myself involved in this shit to begin with. Because you're walking this planet, you're basically alone. I know your mother hates you. I know your family hates you. You're the reason that your relatives are dead. Whether it be the connection to this or just the connection to whatever, all this other shit, you might as well be dead. You're walking this planet by yourself. You're in purgatory somewhere. You're just waiting to die. And I don't even think you're that old. And that's the truth about the hate triangle. Everybody was so consumed and so caught up with how they felt and so not controlling their feelings and not controlling their ego. And guess what happened? One dead, one on the way to being dead, and one that's going to be, Yo Gotti's going to be fine, but he's never going to be musically the same. And that's probably why he dropped his last mixtape and said that this was kind of it for me. Because it's never going to be musically the same. You don't have nobody to be bothered with. What other person can compete with Yo Gotti on that level? And that level of selfishness, everybody should watch out for that. If we're being for real. Everybody should be looking at that level of selfishness like, oh, this nigga's really fucking crazy. He really wants to be the only motherfucker around here. And that's the problem with a lot of motherfuckers. They want to be the only one. They don't want to share the spotlight. There's plenty of resources and plenty of everything for everybody out here. And they don't want anybody else to eat as much as they eat. It's okay for you to eat, but it ain't okay for you to eat how I eat. It's okay for you to get money, but it ain't okay for you to get money how I get money. That's the dark side of this. Is your heart and your mind don't need to be wrapped up in petty things that snowball and avalanche. Really fuck the snowball. That avalanche mudslide into bigger issues that are beyond repair. It's over. Life's over for these people. It's nothing more permanent than the grave. And it's nothing more permanent than walking this fucking planet by your fucking self. This is the dark side of songwriting.